Hello, Capricorn. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. Did it record? I think it did. Hello, Capricorn, if it didn't. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Morgan Greer Tarot. Supportive Oracle cards, You Are Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace. Illustrations by Elaine Marzin. The Oracle cards, I'm pretty sure, are still available. I don't know about the Morgan Greer. That's a really old deck that I've had since I was a teenager, quite frankly. And I am not a teenager anymore. Nowhere near it. What do we have for Capricorn? Alright, what do we... Alright, there's a lot starting this whole thing off. Like, it's all about where it came from. Like, whatever opened this whole situation up, that's what this is all... I feel like this is something that happened a while ago, too. And it's kind of like something that happened a while ago is now coming to fruition in some point, in some way. I got the Seven of Rods with the Queen of Rods. I feel like this is you. Don't get caught up in the gender, so it doesn't matter the gender, but it's like, I almost feel like you were pushed right into a corner. Like, right into a corner. Things were going to go really bad. And you were like, it was not, this was not a normal thing for you to do, but you stood up, moved very quickly, got things under control, didn't have time to really think about what you were doing, just had to pick it up. It's kind of like things were flying at you and you just had to catch them and put them down as fast as you could. And it's not about, even though that's a very rough situation, it's not about that. It's about who put you there. Who got you stuck in this situation. Whoever it's the situation, I feel like you did your best with it. But you did a temporary hiatus from that person. Whoever it was that did that, you just needed a break from them. You just kind of like, you were very confused about how that happened. It looked like they kind of set that up that way. It really kind of confused you, like why that even happened. Once it happened, you're like, I don't know what to do with them. I'm just gonna go over here and just stay away from them for a while, because whatever they did, I don't understand. It looks like they purposely did that. I'm not sure. I can't do it anymore right now. I had to jump in and handle this. I did the best I could with it. I just need a break. So just stay away from me. I'm getting a lot of energy here where you picked up the pieces. It happened really fast. You did your best with it. And then whoever this person is, you just kind of separated from them. They also seem to be getting the hint that they need to leave you alone. At that point, they seem to realize... The Capricorn didn't like that. The Capricorn they know you're upset. And they know that, if they approach you while you're upset, they're going to just get destroyed. I just feel like if they really, no. They put you in a situation, and that was, no. It's like after the fact, they realized that was a big mistake. Big, big, big mistake. Six of Swords with the Wheel of Fortune is like, it's almost like after, like they should have known it beforehand, but it's not till after. That's where the wheel hits. You kind of step back, and that's like fortune kind of going to their favor, kind of like, let the Capricorn have their space if you expect this to go well. Not that it is a guarantee that it will, but if you're going to have any chance of this going well, you better let the Capricorn have their space. The two of you separate. This is the Seven of Swords. No, I don't feel like there's any argument here. But I just feel like both sides are just kind of like, let's just move on from it. And the Seven of Swords is also like not talking about the situation. Now, I feel like you still have to deal with this person. You don't want to seem to start fights. You want to believe the best. I'm getting that too. You're open to the situation. You want to believe better, but you're like, I don't really think that's what the proof is showing. When I look at the history, when I look at the proof that's in front of me, I got a lot of missing pieces. It doesn't look good, though. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. Doesn't look good. You do. That's the thing. Whoever this is, they're deep in your heart. You do care a lot about them. The Two of Cups. The Two of Cups, it is flanked in the back here, or it's, behind it is the Five of Swords. You just, it's just kind of like one of those conversations, kind of like, I'm upset. I'm upset, and I don't want to believe that they purposely did that to me. I really don't want to believe it. I don't like what it looks like, and I feel like until I have the proof, ignorance is bliss. Like, I have the chance to believe better until the proof is in front of me, and it's just all the chance is gone. So I don't see it doing me any favors by pushing the luck, by pushing the issue. That's the Five of Swords. Like, I don't see it really working out well if I push it. I do very much care about this person. I'm just going to let it lie for right now. I don't seem to want to deal with it. I don't want to. And again, you got the friendship here. Like, you want to try to keep getting along with them. And you're like, if we start this conversation, I'm not going to be okay with it. And I'm not going to let them think I am. So I just feel like you're holding back for a minute. I really do. I just kind of like, I don't want to see this person in that light. And I'm afraid if I get the proof, I'm going to have no choice. And I don't want to do that. They have the Nine of Wands. They're holding very carefully. You don't want to seem to talk about it. They seem to have come together and realized, yeah, don't push the Capricorn right now. They seem to know that whatever they pushed forward, whatever that was, it was very, very, very stressful for you. It got a lot worse than they thought it was going to get. And they're just trying to hold the situation together. They seem to think if they just let enough time pass, it'll be okay. Capricorn doesn't really forget, though. You know, Capricorn doesn't, at least I don't think Capricorn forgets. Y'all remember, is my opinion. You may not say anything right off the bat, but it's something that will sit there and you will remember it. You will definitely remember it. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I think you might let somebody get away with something sort of where you don't say something right off the bat, but it's there. It's there. Now, at some point, the history of this is going to be talked about. And I feel like maybe that's why this reading is coming forward now, because maybe now is the time. I feel like you're kind of in that spot where I think you're going to be the one bringing it forward. Something's going on around you. And this person is like, whatever they're involved with, you're kind of like, is it coming? This Nine of Swords is making me feel like I'm worried. Like, is it coming? Is it coming again? Like, I think I'm going to do this to me again. The reward is kind of like, all right, I got to say something. Kind of like, you're not going to be there and just be a sitting duck. And it's kind of like one of those things like, you know what? I haven't said anything up till now, but if this is going to happen again, you're dang right, I'm going to say something before it happens again. And you see it coming, and you're like, no. So you come forward with this, and you're like, and you're not upset. At this point, it's enough time has passed that you're not upset about it at this point. Not that that should be taken lightly by them, and I don't think it's going to be. But, you know, you're in a place to talk about it. Self-acceptance comes in. I'm noticing in the environment for the other person, peace comes in. I feel like they're spilling their guts about what happened and why. They didn't mean to set you up, but the way it played out, they realized that they kind of did. They just didn't. They were kind of thoughtless. I feel like that's how I'm looking at it. Like, I was thoughtless when I'm feeling this side. Like, I was thoughtless. I was reckless. I wasn't realizing how certain things were going to affect certain people or how bad that was going to be. And then when it hit the fan, and you, the Capricorn, picked all the pieces up and did everything really quickly, I was really lucky that you did that for me. And I also realized that that was my fault and really wrong that ever happened. Like, they do seem to be owning it. I'm getting peace on their side, like they're owning it. I do see they're apologizing, and they're realizing that. I feel like they're just saying, I was thoughtless, and it has weighted on me, and I have thought about it. And I feel like they are acknowledging that too. Like, I've thought about it since it's happened a few times. And it bothers me that that happened that way. I feel like I was very fortunate that you helped me. I know I can't expect that to happen again that way. I feel like that's also coming out of their mouths. Like they don't expect you to pick up the pieces for them again. And I feel like you're coming right forward. Well, this is what I'm seeing happen right now. I feel like that's when it might trigger you to be like, well, this is what I see you doing right now, and I'm worried you're going to do it again. Like that might be the moment. You're like, this is what I see is happening. Is that are you doing it again? And I feel like they're going, well, I feel that's coming. Like, oh, well, I didn't think I was. And I feel like you're helping them avert a problem. They get the finding a mentor card. Now, the way I'm feeling this is basically you saw it coming again. You saw a repeat coming in again. When you brought this conversation forward and they admitted like what happened before, they didn't mean for it, and they were thoughtless, you're like, well, here's why I'm saying something now. You're doing this, you're doing that, this other thing is coming into play. I think this is going to happen again and I'm not about it. Don't do this to me again. And they're like, well, yeah. Like, I feel like they're kind of like, oh, I'm going to repeat this. Like, you're waking them up and you're like, before you do, don't. Do this, do that, and then you don't have to do that again. We don't have to go through this again because I don't want to go through this again. Finding a mentor on their side is kind of like you're giving them a chance to pick up their own mess before it becomes quite the mess. They're listening to you. They don't want to repeat that. I feel like they literally were heading for it again. But they seem to be a little bit oblivious. To you, it's very obvious. To them, it just wasn't. It just wasn't. You clue them in, though. This is great. Perfect timing. I feel like this also makes you feel a lot better in the sense of, like, they're not trying to screw you over. They're just kind of screwing themselves and you over by not really paying attention to what they're doing. And you're trying to, like, snap them into focus. Like, hey, wake up. Look what you're doing. You're screwing yourself and me over at the same time. Stop it. The fact that they're listening, Capricorn loves that. I really think. There's, like, most signs like that, don't they? When you're listened to, like, what sign doesn't like that? You're listened to, they hear you, they're taking your advice, they're like, oh yeah, that's a problem. They're fixing it. They're fixing it. You love that. That's the love card. Like, you love that they're doing that. Is this going as well as we hope it is? Okay. Seven of Pentacles, Ace of Wands, and the Justice card. You called them out at the right time. Not too soon, not too late. Like, you had to get them at the right moment where, like, it was quite clear what was happening again, but not wait so long that it was too late and it was all going to fall apart. So you got them right at the right spot. You got in there just at the right time. It's something that they have to maintain. I also feel like you're going to keep tabs on them and kind of like you're going to kind of remind them. It's like you're coaching them. Like, they're finding a mentor. It's like you're going to be coaching them for a while, probably. Not doing it for them, but kind of like talking it out with them. Like, hey, are you keeping on this? Hey, are you looking out at that? Hey, are you making sure that's okay? Are you keeping your eye on things? Are you keeping things in line? Keeping things where they're supposed to be? I feel like that's the Seven of Pentacles. And again, they're finding a mentor. You're helping them stay on track. Ace of Wands, I feel like there's a lot of energy to keep their own stuff under control. The Justice card is telling me this is going in line the way it should. Life Journey and Cthulhu is also coming in. For this person, this is one of the things they need to do in their life to kind of perfect and do better. This is part of their soul perfection, in my opinion. I know it's a general read, but that's what it's feeling like. You're helping them kind of like look at stuff more, like pay attention to how things are really happening. They're paying attention more to about not only how things are happening, but how it's affecting people around them. Because I feel like they care about what you think and what you feel. And this is one of their life lessons. Like, it's not just me that I'm screwing things up for. It's other people who care about me, a.k.a. the Capricorn. And the fact that you're not just kind of like throwing them away. You're like, listen, don't do that to me again. And before you do, fix your own crap. And you're helping them do that. You're like giving them pointers. You're helping them. You may not be fixing it directly yourself, but you're kind of like, keep your eye on that, keep your eye on this, keep over here, do this. Go over there, check on that. You're helping them learn, and they're realizing they don't want to hurt people who care about them, and this is helping them get more online with their spiritual path. I really feel like this is extremely helpful. That's why I'm feeling Kathumi, and literally it says life journey, right? Life journey. That's why that's coming out. This is really good. Now, at some point, you're not going to be there to do this for them. That's, I think, where this is going to end, this reading. Because when you have choice, I'm feeling like it looks like somebody walking away. I know it's like they're walking towards a path and choosing which path, the left or the right, because there's another path over here. It's hard to see, maybe. But no, what I'm feeling is like they're giving you a heads up. Like, you want to teach this person to take care of themselves where you don't have to be there. And you got to remember, you're not going to always be there for that. And you want to kind of like start training them to like look out for themselves. Not that you don't care, not that you mind even doing that, but I feel like you're not going to always be there to pick up the pieces for them like this. And there's other things in life that they need to take this pattern and apply it to other places in life. So you want to kind of make them self-sufficient. Remember that when you're helping them. You want to make them self-sufficient. Ascended Masters, the Fool, and Gratitude is also coming in on their side. The Fool card can be a good energy. It can also be a bad energy. Being optimistic and kind of going by the seat of your pants, sometimes that's good, but not all the time. They have to figure out a good balance for them, that what truly works for them. They are very grateful for you helping them, but there is going to be a balance of them. They're just not going to be like you. They're not going to do things exactly the way you are. They're not going to be as solid with it, not even halfway. But I feel like you also got to kind of train them, like, all right, so if you're not going to be solid on everything, let's do this. When it comes to your finances, you need to try to keep that under control and plan. And I feel like you got to try to, that's one of the areas I feel like is really important. Another example of that, maybe it's not finances, maybe it's like them taking care of their transportation. Like, you don't take risks with that. You get a dependable vehicle, you take care of the vehicle, you keep up on the maintenance of the vehicle, so you get from A to B, and then B to A to B, B to A, every day without a problem. That way if something goes wrong or you need to get somewhere quickly, you have reliable transportation. You gotta kind of like, I feel like it's not just showing them how to be more dependable. I feel like it's kind of like helping them learn like what needs to be prioritized. Gotta have food for rent, gotta have money for food, money for rent. You need to secure this money and not touch it. Maybe there's a way you have to train them to like put this money out of your reach. So if you have a whimsical moment and you just want the money, you physically just can't get it. So it kind of saves you from screwing yourself over. Other things like that, like transportation, how they treat certain people. If you tell somebody you're going to be somewhere, be there. If you're not really sure, make sure you say, I'll try, I'll do my best. Don't make somebody feel like you're committed when you're not really committed. There's certain things like that I feel like you're cluing this person in on. Like you're trying to help them prioritize. You're trying to say, if you really aren't sure you can commit to something, then don't commit to it. Say you'll try, but don't say you'll definitely be there. Yeah. That annoys me. I don't know why, but all of a sudden I was like, that annoys me. Like, because I feel like the person you're dealing with, they commit to things and they're not thinking about it. And I feel like that's what you're also trying to instill in them. Before you commit to something, think about it first. Can you really hold to that? Like, don't just promise something just because it's something to say. If you're going to promise something, make sure you can promise something. You know what I mean? Because some people do that. They just use that word promise, or they commit to things and they don't think it through, and then when push comes to shove or the situation comes to light, they've got 3 other things going on, so they have to choose which one they actually have to do. So they have to break a promise because they promised 3 different things for the same time, and they can't do it because they're not thinking about what they're doing. And I feel like that's what you're trying to help this person with too. Ooh. You're making a difference. I think when I'm feeling this last piece come in, I'm not worried about this person screwing you over. I'm realizing, though, that you're going to see patterns that they have where they're screwing themselves over constantly. And I feel like you're just kind of be like, oh my God. Like, what are you doing with your life? I feel like it's a little bit of like, I really feel this conversation strongly. I can't believe I'm going to go into it again. But kind of like, don't promise something. Just don't, like, think about it. Can you really do that? And if you're not sure, say, I'll try or I'll do my best. But don't commit to something you really can't commit to or you're not sure you can. Don't just appease somebody because you want them to be happy with you. Because quite frankly, you let them down, and that's you just why did you bother making them happy? Because your word's gonna be worth crap. All right, I'm gonna let it go. I don't know why I'm like stuck on that, but I think with this same person, you're gonna have conversations about that too, and I feel like it's gonna be like you're gonna shake your head like, why would you do that? Why would you promise something that you really don't know if you can actually promise or come through with? Don't do that. All right, I'm stepping away from it. I hope that helps. I think that's enough. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.